Today I am going to use a new journal that has a nice surface in between a cold press and a hot press. And I first put a nice wash of water down, and I'm mixing some Daniel Smith Primatek colors, and I'm using a half-inch oval wash brush. And this is really interesting. It has this nice point and it holds a lot of water, but it makes me paint much more loosely. And I can fill large areas and also make fine lines. It's a pretty interesting brush. So I'm doing a background. I have no idea really what the subject is going to be. I don't have a reference photo, but I think I'm probably going to go towards a floral design or some kind of something like that. So I'm going to spatter and make this kind of a soft light background, and I'm going to let it dry. And now that the background is dry, I thought this brush could make some wonderful leaves or flower shapes. So practicing how much pressure to put down, and I see that this first flower, I don't have nearly enough pressure to take advantage of the shape of this brush. But this is what this is about. It's practice. And the next flower, I'll put some more pressure down, and that's a nicer shape. And it helps to rotate the paper just to make it easier to get those brush strokes similar. But I'm having a little bit of trouble. Now, I might suggest if you're practicing something like this, practice it on a piece of scrap paper just to see what your brush strokes will be. In anything, practicing is so helpful. And in this particular piece, I haven't practiced, and I'm just sort of winging it. And I'm having a little bit of a struggle with the leaves and the composition. And I'm actually really not thinking of a composition, but I'm enjoying the practice of it and playing with color and line and shape. And that's all good when I'm feeling relaxed and really don't have any pressure to make something really nice. And for some reason in this piece, I'm just kind of feeling clumsy. So I just thought I'm going to cover it and try to erase this background if I can. It just isn't going anywhere. And it's not easy to get colors off of watercolor paper, and some papers don't do this very well, but this one seems to be all right. So I'm going to erase as much as I can and start over. Sometimes, what can be intimidating about watercolor is that you feel that once you put something down, you really can't go back. And I don't believe that's true. I think we can push through a mistake or a mess and work through it. And I'm loving the way this brush makes the petal shapes. So I put more pressure down, I loaded it up with a light color and lighter color, and then tipped the end in a darker color, and that's what creates the shading. And I just love this. So I'm just going to practice making these flower shapes all throughout the page. And I just love that. I love they look like pansies, and the little delicate leaves just in one touch of that brush. I think this might be my new favorite brush, actually. It is wonderful. And as I'm working on this, I'm not really noticing that previous layer, the first layer. What's happening behind just gives it a lot more interest, I think. And I'm just going to go with this background. I've got a round brush that I'll try to attempt to make leaves, and I thought I'm just going to kind of give the impression of leaves and maybe try to get these pansy shapes or the flower shapes to stand out a little bit more, because I don't have a lot of white left or a lot of virgin paper background left. I need to make some bold, dark brush strokes just to make the colors, the bright flowers, pop a little bit more. So that's kind of, and I think I'm just going to go and do this in a painterly way, kind of intuitively, add some splashes of color and lines and just make a loosey-goosey design and put some colors in different areas to make it harmonious. And I notice it's getting a little dark, but don't have a lot of white left, but that's always that can always be worked on with a white pen. And in this case, I'm going to use a Posca pen, which is really my favorite pen for bringing out highlights. And I think that this painting is a good exercise in the art of letting go of the outcome and not having the pressure to create. Just enjoy the process, and every time you pick up a brush and paint and draw, you've practiced something new and you've honed your skills. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. I look forward to creating with you next time. Have a wonderful day.